What's up, guys? My name is David London. Welcome back to the Athletic Physio YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you 6 of my favorite exercises for optimal shoulder health. Now, if you want to make gains in the gym and build big shoulders, you got to keep them healthy. So in a second, I'm going to show you 6 of my favorite exercises you want to incorporate into your training plan if you want to be functional, fit, and pain-free. So come and check these out. All right, guys, so the first exercise we're going to do is a spin on the traditional face pull, which is really great for the rotator cuff and the rear delts. But we're going to be doing it in half kneeling, one, to get more core activation, two, to also get some of the mid trap and upper back. These are the muscles that help to stabilize the shoulder blades. So you're going to come and you're going to grab the cable. Again, it's set around my head height, making sure we're in this half kneeling position. So I'm 90 degrees with both knees, core is tight, pelvis is tucked. So you want to come back a little bit. Take the tension off the cable stack. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to retract the shoulder blades back with the elbows straight. A lot of times people will just let the shoulders round forward with this exercise. We want to pull the shoulder blades back, pull making a double bicep position. So that's your traditional face pull. Now, what we're going to do to make that a little bit more effective for the shoulder health is we're going to pull and we're going to come overhead into what we call a trap raise. So this mimics the shoulder press position. So I'm pulling all the way back. I don't want those forearms to rotate down. So I want you to stay in this external rotation and really going to fight to press overhead and slowly pull those shoulders back on the way down. So you can really see from my back here that as I'm pulling, I'm coming overhead and I'm really feeling my mid-back muscles working and helping to support this movement. So give this one a try. You really want to go slow with the movement and feel that along the mid-back. It's going to help make your pull-ups stronger and your shoulder presses feel better. So check this out. And you can also do the same thing with a resistance band, which I'll show you in a second. So this is the modification if you don't have a cable machine. So see how my elbows are staying in line with my body as I'm pressing overhead, and then I'm pulling back down. So you really want to make sure you're maintaining external rotation and you're feeling the shoulder blades come upward and you're feeling those middle and lower traps. This is a killer exercise. You're going to feel a great burn. I recommend starting in those 3 sets of 8 to 12 rep range to really build strength and proficiency. And you're really going to enjoy the resistance of the band, really provide some extra stimulus to grow those back muscles. We're going to be doing a take on the traditional rear delt fly. So coming on an inclined bench towards the low position here, you want to make sure that your chin is tucked. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to not think of squeezing through the shoulder blades, but imagine you're holding the dumbbells from the bottom and your arms are hooks. So as I'm coming up, it's not a retracting row motion, but it's almost like a scoop back, really feeling that motion in your rear delt and shoulder here. So you don't need to go too heavy, nice and light, really focusing all your focus on that rear delt, slowly back, slowly controlling that weight down. You want to work up to building strength to do 15 to 20 reps here. Noticing I'm not cheating the movement and going like this and using my rhomboids in my back. If you're doing that, you're not really strengthening the back of the shoulder. And it's super important to strengthen your rear delt to help get strong through that rotator cuff. So we're coming back up here. The pause is the king here. Really feeling that pause, feeling that muscle burn at the top. Now, if you're struggling there, you can bend the elbow a little bit more. Do the same motion. But again, no cheating, really focusing on getting that motion with strict form. Next, we have shoulder CARs, which stand for controlled articular rotations. One of my favorite out of all these exercises to improve your shoulder mobility because they really teach you how to use and understand the full function of your shoulder. So I'm going to break down the movements first, then we're going to go into a bodyweight version and a more advanced version. So shoulder CARs essentially teach the joint to move through its full range of motion, to help bring blood flow and fluid to the joint, to keep that joint nice and healthy. So a shoulder CAR should look like this from the side. I want you to stand nice and tall. Come up as high as you can into shoulder flexion, really maxing out that range of motion here. Again, I don't want you bringing that ear to the bicep, but I want you to coming as far as you can overhead. Now, without cheating and turning through your upper back and thoracic spine, I want you to bring that arm behind you. Now, once you get fully behind, I suggest doing this in a mirror to see yourself. You're going to internally rotate. So I'm going to turn my forearm and my shoulder down so my thumb is pointing down. Then I want you to bring your arm behind your body, trying your best not to let it drop. So we're hanging out here, and then want you to finish with that pinky at the pocket. So I'm showing you like this, coming back, externally rotating, turning that palm up, letting the motion occur from the shoulder, coming back to the start position. So I'm going to show you a few reps in real time and then break that down a little bit further. So slowly coming up, squeezing my fist to generate tension through my muscles, slowly coming back out to the side here. Notice how I'm turning my arm down, trying to get that motion from the shoulder, trying to fight to keep that up as I come back into shoulder extension, reversing external rotation. Now back to the top. Now if you're struggling with this, your shoulder cars don't need to be as big as the ones I'm demonstrating in the video. If you can only start with this much range of motion, that's okay. You can build up and improve your capacity through the joint later on. But I wouldn't go and do 10 reps of these. I would do, 2 to 3 sets, 3 to 5, resting, really focus on high effort, high intensity, making sure to do both sides. Now, once you've gotten good at that, I like to load up my movements. So I like to do weighted shoulder cars, especially before a heavy session, doing shoulder press or bench press. So what I like to do is, I'm on this position like we would be doing a row here. I have 5 pounds. This is more than enough. Really got to focus on the breathing and the core. So I'm going to be coming up, back, turning that arm down and around. And you can also finish off with that arm on the back, getting a little bit of extra internal rotation. Really making sure we're keeping the arm above the body here and we're not cheating. So I first started doing these with half-pound plates. Then I slowly worked up to 5 pounds. Really hard movement, but probably one of the best things you can do for strong and healthy shoulders if you want to stay pain-free and make some gains. All right, the next exercise we're going to do is a take on the traditional overhead shoulder press called the bottoms-up kettlebell press, one of the ultimate movements for shoulder stability into the overhead position. So you want to start with your arm in the scapular plane, which is right around 45 degrees. So you're going to take your kettlebell there, staying strong and stable through the shoulder and the wrist. Now, you're going to be a little bit wobbly, and that's okay because we're learning to develop more stable shoulders, but trying your best to go nice and slow, squeeze the core, keep your glutes engaged. We're going to be pressing fully overhead and slowly controlling that movement on the way down, trying to minimize the wobbling. So start with the lighter weight and then work your way up to a heavier kettlebell here. And if you're still struggling, you can even focus on doing some walking or some moving on the spot, maybe some marching, and just holding this front rack position and then working on the full overhead press here. Really great, really challenging exercise for building shoulder stability. So it should look like this. Give this one a try, guys. Build up some strength here, and your shoulders are going to feel absolutely incredible, and you're going to build some nice muscle in those delts. All right, guys, the last exercise in today's video is going to be scapular pull-ups, one of my favorite exercises to develop insane scapular strength, really develop that Christmas tree in your lower back, the mid and lower traps, really get some nice strengthening. This one is the #1 bulletproofing exercise for the shoulders. Come to a full dead hang, and then you're going to pull your shoulders closer up towards your biceps without bending those elbows. That's the key. I'm pulling the shoulder blades down towards my pocket, using my mid-back muscles, and those elbows stay straight the whole time here. So really pulling up as high as you can, pausing at the bottom position, feeling a nice stretch through the lats. Now, if you're struggling with the grip, you can do a few reps at a time, or you can modify using the band, but I would really suggest to play around with some different variations to see what you can get the most out of. You can do the same thing in the neutral grip position here. So we're hanging, nice retraction and depression, pulling down and back up. Really great, really effective, and this is how you should be initiating your pull-ups. Instead of rounding your shoulders, you should always start with this nice depression and then pulling up. That way you're not rounding your back and doing your pull-ups, because that's not going to make any gains. So if you want to modify and use a band, all you got to do, same thing. You're going to take your band, except we're going to do one arm at a time. You're going to loop that over, and you're just going to pull down and do that same motion, doing the retraction and the depression to help initiate that movement. Really great as a warm-up or a precursor to even doing shoulder press exercises, because it utilizes the same muscles. So I would suggest incorporating these exercises in today's video into your weekly workout routine. Some can be done as a warm-up, some can be done as a cool-down. I'll give more info in the description below. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Athletic Physio. Join my newsletter in the comments below. And if you're interested in working with us to develop a mobility and strengthening rehab program, send us an email, theathleticphysio@gmail.com. We'll hook you up. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next video.